Apparently it wants me to go live like this. Okay. Well, hello. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. I know I am. I want to talk about some old ATVs and stuff, so I figure, I'd chat with you guys about it. So, truth is, ever since I was a kid, I've always had a thing for three-wheelers. Don't know why. It's just kind of my thing. I've always had kind of weird passion for 80s vehicles in particular. Don't know why, again, just kind of weirdo. Anyhow, old trikes like 250Rs, that's the creme de la creme, to anything like 110, I'll talk about that. Quads, old TRX 250Rs, Banshees, pretty much anything with wheels is pretty much up my alley. I've rode a few Banshees, I've rode quite a few dirt bikes. Man, I can't even really think of how many dirt bikes I rode. I was flipping them for a long time, and then I quit, so maybe it's about time I start getting back into the flipping game and start flipping stuff to make some cash, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, so let me start with the Honda ATC 250R. The ATC 250R came out in 1981. It was the very first high-performance sports machine that ever came out. And then in 1982, followed up with a little bit of a refresh on the 250R, but it was more or less the same platform. In fact, I have an 82 250R back there if you can see it. I don't know if you can. But, yeah, so I got one in the garage. And then in 83, they bumped it up a little bit. I think they milked the head to raise the compression just a hair. And then did a few other things to the 250R to kind of bump up the machine, just make it overall a better machine. Wider rear axle, longer wheelbase, more suspension travel. They really did kind of bump up everything with the 250R and just made it into a much greater machine in 1983. But in 1984, again, they brought it back. Little to no updates in the 84 model 250R, but then in 85, they came out with the big dog, the water-cooled 250R. So, the 85 250R was kind of, the first, like, really super fast, like, fun ATV you could get. 6-speed manual transmission, combined with the liquid cooling and just the way the motor was built, that thing was an absolute ripper. 86, again, came back to 250R. Minimal updates in 86. There's a few minor differences between the 85 and the 86 250R. Not a whole lot of differences in the machine, but, subtle things like the rear brake. I believe there was some work done to the rear brake, and vice versa. So 86 leading into 87. As you all know, that 87 was a big trike ban here in the U.S. So the 250R quickly got chopped. And I believe in 87 they kept going with the TRX 250R, which is the four-wheeled version of that machine. Pretty cool ATV. I love them. They're awesome. Never got to ride one. Never got to ride the four-wheeled version ever. Got to ride some Banshees and stuff, but never got to ride a TRX 250R. What else to say about it? I mean, pretty much from, I believe, 87 onwards until the eventual demise of the ATC, TRX 250R. They really didn't change much, but Honda did make a really potent, powerful machine there for a long time. That was a sweet machine. One of these days, I kind of wish I could get an 85 250R to add to my little collection, but right now I just don't have the space for anything else in my life like that. What else to talk about? I don't know. I got some other machines in here. ATC 250SX. That's a pretty cool machine. Again, I got another one back there. So in 1985, they came out with the ATC 250SX. That was kind of a game changer. You could call it like the very first like sports utility machine. Very sporty, but at the same time, you could use it for work around the ranch. And it was right at home doing that stuff along with the 250ES Big Red. That was kind of the same thing, just a much larger frame for doing work, and same motor, same sort of platform. And then for the 250SX, they did update it, and it's actually interesting. Every year they did do stuff into the 250SX. So in '86, which is what I got back there, '86 model, you can always tell '86 if you look at the frame. Actually, let me go ahead and I'll show you what I'm talking about with the frame. There's a few ways to tell '86 250SX. So they redesigned the rear swing arm. That's one way to tell '86. They have a particular look, but '87 has the same look and swing arm. But if you look at the steering here, you got a combination helmet lock, steering lock going on there. That's a telltale dead giveaway that you have an '86 frame. They did that for 1 year only. Kind of a weird thing. So yeah, I don't know. And then '87, they did do stuff into the 250SX and '87 along with ditching the helmet lock. The helmet lock they ditched, but they also made the rear axle wider in 1987 on the 250SX. And I think the reason for that was to make it more stable, because they were under pretty heavy fire in '87 as far as that stuff goes. Let's see, I'm gonna look for here, see if there's anything going on. Welcome to chat. Learn more. I did. Let's see, chat. Is there a chat and I just can't see it? I don't know. What else to talk about? So in here, we've got a 200S. That's not really mine, it's just in here. They're a pretty cool machine too, but there's nothing spectacular about a 200S. It's just the old quad, old freewheeler here. So they changed a fair bit. This is an '84, which I believe the '84 was the first year of the 200S. It's weird. It's kind of a mind-blown thing to go from like an '84 to like an '85 or '86, because what happened in those years is they actually made the shift pattern. So first gear would be all the way at the top, and then you'd shift down to go into the higher gears. Well, in '85 they changed it so the gear pattern's all up. So to write a 84 and then jump off and go to something like 86 or 85 200S, it really messes with your head. You have to remember the shift patterns are different, which is unusual. I don't know why. I don't know why they thought a downshift pattern would be better for it. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me why they did that. And then, let's see, they did 200S, so they did 1984, 1985, 1986. Was there 87? I think there was 87. Yeah, it made it all the way to 87, so pretty much unchanged all the way to 87 besides that weird shift pattern thing. Oh, another way to tell if you got an older one. 84 had this style, and 85 had the updated style thumb throttle. So, fun little fact about that. I don't know. What else is there to talk about? I got a 660 Raptor. That thing's pretty cool. I haven't had it out too much lately. I really should sell this darn machine and move it down the road, but I don't know. I don't know what I should do with it. I probably should take it out and actually ride it and enjoy it for a little bit and show it off to you guys. Is it the fastest thing in the world? No. Is it crazy? Everybody thought it was going to be a Banshee Slayer when it first came out, which wasn't really the truth. The Banshee was a great machine, all the way from 1987 all the way to '06 when they eventually chopped the Banshee. This one, I believe that's a '05 Raptor 660R limited edition, or actually special edition. I don't know. The camo's special, I guess. Yeah, first 2 years. So 2001 and 2002 was the first 2 years of the Raptor 660R. And those 2 years, the first 2 years, they had problems with the transmissions going out. And they fixed it in 2003 all the way up to '05 when they chopped this because they came out with the Raptor 700R, which, as you know, is a beast, but it's not the craziest thing on the planet. So let's see. Really don't know much about my KLR other than this KLR. Like in '87 when they did come out with the KLR 650, like it was actually a pretty revolutionary bike in '87. But then they didn't change anything since then, so you know, kind of a flop. Not gonna lie. They did change a fair bit. There was like 3 generations. They went from the older style KLR up and like bumped it up and made it just like a little bit more of a road bike friendly bike. Got away from like being like more of a regular dirt bike to like more of a, you know, cross country Dakar style kind of looking bike. Hello, welcome to the stream. Talking about motorcycles, outer bikes. So I don't spend a whole lot of time talking about my Husky FX 450 because this thing, I literally got this bike in particular just to use it for racing and like beat on it. So I really don't know much about the Husky FX lineup. Don't know if they've updated or anything special like that, but that's pretty much what I'll use for racing typically. Yeah, it's been a pretty good bike. Got a Recluse, got a few other things. Let's see. Anything else? Anything interesting? So I know I haven't done a video talking about this piece of junk. So this is my mini bike. I kind of threw it together out of a hodgepodge of parts. I threw a gator skin seat on there just to be funny. You know, I figured I'd just leave this ratted out. So this thing originally, I dug it out of a dumpster. Kind of in my dumpster find, if you will. Kind of okay, where do I even start on this darn thing? So I do have hydraulic disc brakes, so it's got an LT250R quad racer rear caliper. 5 horse Briggs. It has the intake manifold off of a Honda ATC 110, I believe. Chopped and rotated, so we'll take the 200S carburetor on there. The thing, I never really have had this thing running 100% right, but even as it is, it's kind of sketchy. Hey, what's happening? How you doing, Crim? Crim Del Crim? Just chatting right now and doing a little live stream, trying to get up my views on my YouTube channel. How about you? What are you up to? What else to talk about here? My downhill bike. I need to actually get this thing serviced. Just sitting here. Right on. Yeah, I'm just sitting. I'm trying to get about right around 20 minutes of like stream time. So let's talk about the YT. This is a full carbon frame. Suspension's kind of collapsed. I need to have the suspension serviced on this thing. Recently I damaged a seat. Not going to say what else I damaged. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. This is my old YT. So this one I've been thinking about giving away to one of my friends. He's in law enforcement. I would like to get him into downhill bike racing. Yup. Not much. What, me? Yeah, what are you up to? Hopefully you're having a good day. Oh, is that... Hold up. What, me? I don't know. Alright, moving on here. So, yeah, that needs to go to a new home. What else here? So, this is my Sunday BMX bike. And I actually haven't used that in years. I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with it. I probably should go out and actually maybe take that out once or twice, go to the skate park, because it's, well, it's actually storming outside right now. It's disgusting out there. And then this bike, this is an old Kona Stinky. I saw it for a good price, so you know, it's called a Stinky. Of course I had to buy a bike called that. Anyhow, where to now? Do we want to go outside and see the old 4Runner and talk about it for a bit? Well, let's go talk about the 4Runner. I don't have my coat on. Want a video? I want to make a video today. It's on my list of things to do. Ooh, chilly out here. Hopefully I don't lose service here, but yeah, it's outside my house. There's the old Dodge, but there's the old 4Runner. So I'm just about done with a few things on this. Really, I need to slap the seat back in here and work on that, but I got the center console actually bolted in here. This was loose in here for a long time. And then like you saw recently, I finally got the back windows working in here, so that's cool. A lot of hack jobbery done to this in the past, but now I got it pretty decent in here. One thing I want to do today is actually go through and vacuum this thing out because it's kind of crummy looking in here. Another thing I need to do to this old 4Runner, I need to get a picture of my new mountain bike. Hell yeah! You really have cool vehicles. Oh, thank you so much. One problem I have in here, so I want to put in a new headliner. The problem being is I need to find a parts rig because I got this strip of trim over here. Somebody yoinked the strip of trim out there, so I don't have that. So to put in a new headliner, that's going to be a problem. You know, I need to find a parts vehicle or something. It's called a Badlands winch on here. Don't know if I showed you guys that. But yeah, this thing, I'm still considering painting this old 4Runner and making actually something nice. That would be nice if I could get some help up here. One more thing I gotta do here is I need to finish wiring in this stupid CB. So I need to do that, and then that still has to be wired in. So a few things need to be done yet, but that's typically how it goes sometimes. You get a lot of projects going and not enough time sometimes. Today I think I'm going to head out and actually do some exploring, so I got to slap the seat back in there here soon. So I see we're at about 17 minutes in the stream. Back in the warm. It's cold out there. Anything else that you guys want to ask about in the garage or project stuff? Oh, I never did mention the unicycle. Unicycling, yeah, buddy. Those are really good for busting your balls on. Ask me how I know. Not exactly the most comfortable thing in the world to cruise around on, in my personal opinion. But I'm not a professional unicyclist neither. I just know how to ride one. Oh, okay. We're right in. Let's see. Got about one more minute, and then I'll be out of here. So hopefully you're all doing good. Yeah, you all have any questions or anything I can answer for you, or you need help with something? New mountain bike and motorcycle. Nice. Checking the chat. Just reading here. I will be getting one in my vehicle once I get one. Okay. No, not me. I was asking. Okay. Well, hopefully you get a vehicle soon. I have a few. Like I said, I got that Dodge out there. The Dodge is actually pretty cool by itself. That one being a short bed, 4-wheel drive, manual, 6-speed manual. So the fact that it's a short bed, single cab, 4-wheel drive manual is actually kind of a rare truck. And it's on regard. The 4Runner is not really that rare. They made 1 million of them. And that's not like some special year where it's got certain things. Like the 4Runner that you want to get, the special year, is 85 because it was last year the solid axle and fuel injection, and that's the one to have, in my opinion. Ooh. Okie dokie, guys. we're riding about 19-20 minutes. So I'll catch you guys on the next live stream. I'm going to try starting to do these things a little bit more regularly on here, just to kind of pick up my views or my hours to be watched. So thank you so much for coming to hang out for a little bit. And I would love to talk to you guys some more at some point. But for now, I think I'm going to vacuum out my 4Runner. That's going to be number 1. And number 2 is going to be throw the seat back in it, which is like right over there. So, and then I'm going to go out and do some exploring. So, peace. Oh, I don't even know. Haha. There's how you end it.